Welcome to the CCFR Radio Podcast, your source for news, updates, and stories from the CCFR.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 40 of the CCFR Radio Podcast. I'm your host, Rod Giltaka. Today on the podcast, I'm going to try to make it as quick as I can because I have to be properly prepared for the big event this weekend, which is the CCFR Annual General Meeting. That's on June 1st. That's this Saturday in Calgary, Alberta. So the first thing I'd like to say is if you are in reasonable driving distance to Calgary, if you are in the Calgary area, or you have nothing to do this weekend other than jump on a plane and come to the AGM, I'd recommend that you do it. Because on Saturday, we're going to have our business meeting, which is always good to kind of see the inner workings. It's administrative inner workings, but nonetheless, it's good to be there. And something unique that we've never done before is Tracy Wilson and I will be taking an hour or two of questions in a Q&A session directly from our members. So you can sit with us and we'll work through some issues together, which is something I'm really excited about. So you have the opportunity to do that. And of course, the big dinner. This year at the dinner, we're going to have some surprises. It's going to be a ton of fun. We got some great speakers and it's a chance for us to have a few drinks and mingle. So looking forward to meeting all of our members, especially if we haven't met before. And if you can possibly make it, there's information on firearmrights.ca. If you just search in the search bar for AGM or Annual General Meeting, you'll find the story with all the links on there. So I would encourage you to come out and let us know what you think. Next thing I want to talk about real quick is Bill C-71 passed yesterday. There was no doubt that this was going to pass. The Liberals, as corrupt as they are, have a clear majority in the House of Commons. So there's nothing we could do there other than fight them. We knew it was going to pass. It passed without amendment, which was quite disappointing. But I will say this, I am really impressed and I'm really grateful for all of the people in our community that fought this tooth and nail, and we did not make it easy on them. And there's a really serious point in there too. We wrote the senators and MPs and everyone involved tens of thousands of pieces of communication. We flooded the Senate with testimony. We flooded the House Committee with testimony. We reached out. We had town halls, and all of that stuff demonstrates to these people that gun owners will not take it lying down, and that's important. And it's a demonstration like, yeah, these guys can organize themselves and they can get active. And you know what? If there are rural Liberal MPs out there, they're probably concerned, and if they're not, they're oblivious. They should be very concerned that they will never see a seat in the House of Commons, at least in this election cycle, and hopefully for every election cycle after this one, as long as Canada remains a country. Okay, so this was really good, and it was a demonstration of our ability to organize ourselves. Now, having said that, I'd like you guys to congratulate yourselves. You did a really, really good job. But again, it was probably 2% of gun owners. And you know what? Shame on the rest of us that sat on the sidelines and did nothing. And extra point deduction for those who sat on the sidelines, did nothing but go onto a firearm forum or on Facebook or on Twitter and blabber on about how we're wasting our time doing this, that, and the other thing. These folks are probably the enemy within. The ones that do absolutely nothing and then criticize the people that are actually in the arena doing something. So, you know, I think if I were to sum up what I just said, it's the people that actually battle it out on Twitter, educate themselves on our topic, post links to studies, post links to explainer videos, kindly debate with people, keeping up the pressure, writing letters. You should be extra commended for your efforts, because while it feels fruitless, it's laying the groundwork for something better. So if it means anything at all, I personally say thank you to all of you guys that kept the pressure up. Okay. I'm really proud of you guys. So anyway, one of the other benefits to doing all that debating and writing all those letters is you're making yourself a better debater. You're making yourself more of an expert in this topic, which we're going to need you soon because the election is coming up. And one of the things, if you want to take action, and I cannot stress this enough, go to your firearm-friendly MP. And if that person is a Liberal, I'll go ahead and say I'll risk it. And if you guys are more than more than welcome to disagree with me. I don't care if your Liberal MP is a raging gun fanatic and he promises to look after your interests if you reelect him. He has to go. He or she has to go because it's just not going to work. Every seat that party has, the Liberal MPs have shown that they will vote with the party. Now, I'm not telling you who to vote for. There's 4 other parties, but look at the MP that you believe is going to look after your rights and get the heck out of your life. I'm all this to say you really have to vote with your conscience this election cycle, number one, and number two, when you find that firearm-friendly MP candidate, volunteer for them. That's how you can ensure that a lot of this stuff will be rolled back. I have assurances from other political parties, not mentioning any, that all this stuff will be completely repealed should they have a clear majority in the parliament next election. So anyway, there you go. Next thing I want to talk about is we are concerned, other than the passage of Bill C-71, that'll get rolled out. It'll achieve royal assent anytime now. But we're also concerned about 2 dates from information we're getting. Those 2 dates are June the 4th and June the 7th. And I get conflicting dates from different people that there could be a ban coming. So obviously the rumor is that the AR-15 will go prohibited, but I'm also getting information that they have not ruled out prohibiting all handguns and a list of 18 semi-automatics. I don't know what to say about that. We are absolutely powerless against this tyrannical government that we see in front of us today. And I use the word tyrannical. I know it's a strong word, but they are absolutely tyrannical and dictatorial because they're going to do it through OIC or Order in Council. That means no debate. That means no nothing. You are now in unauthorized possession of a prohibited firearm. We're going to give you a grace period to turn it in for destruction, or maybe there's a buyback, or maybe there's grandfathering or whatever. It doesn't matter what scheme they take. It's unacceptable. Licensed gun owners have not represented a disproportionate risk to public safety. Therefore, we should be just left alone. We're not hurting anybody. If you got a gang problem, which we know you do, and you have a problem with drugs, even drugs and alcohol, that's what's behind the majority of shootings, whether they're gang related or in domestic violence. Go solve your problems and leave gun owners alone. So anyway, what can we do about these prohibitions? Nothing. We can kick them out of government. That's all we can do about it. So I'm telling you, if there's anything you're going to do, it is mobilize and work your asses off come the next election to get these people nowhere near a position of power. So if there's a prohibition of some sort or any other action on June the 4th or June the 7th, hopefully there isn't anything. If there isn't anything, a lot of people got ARs. So that's not totally a bad thing. I bought a couple extras myself. You never know. They can come in handy from time to time. And so, if that happens, we'll deal with it when it happens. And depending on that date, I will fly on 24 hours notice to Ottawa to do a press conference and just let these people know that we are not going away. It's only going to get more intense the more action they take against us, and rightly so. Now, keep your head up. We can all fight this, and we can make a difference if we can work hard enough. That's how I'm going to wrap that up. Next thing I want to talk about is I'm going to be attending personally the GAT show, which is the Guns and Tactical Show, and that is June 14th and 15th at Silverdale Gun Club in St. Anne's, Ontario. You can find all the information for that show at www.gatshowcanada.com. That's gatshowcanada.com. It's not expensive to show up at that show, and there's tons of guns to shoot. It's a live fire trade show kind of thing. And we are also going to be filming an episode of the CCFR's Canada Downrange at that show, and like I said, I'll be there as well. So you might be able to get on our TV show, which will be on Sportsman Channel this year as well. Now, I want to wrap this up. As I said, I want to make this episode really quick and just kind of a shout out about current events or whatever. The only other thing I will say is make sure, for God's sakes, make sure you are on our emailing list. We could be shut down at any time on Facebook. We could be shut down at any time on Twitter. We could have absolutely no ability to contact you guys other than email or our website. So please, if you haven't, go to firearmrights.ca and sign up for the newsletter. I think the last newsletter we sent out was 2 to 2.5 months ago. We are not going to spam you, but we need to be able to red alert you guys to get a hold of you if need be. So if you haven't, literally drop everything right now, get on your phone, go to firearmrights.ca, scroll down to the bottom and sign up for the newsletter. Doesn't matter if you're a member or not, just get on that newsletter. Really important because it's going to be a strange time in the next little while, especially as it leads up to the election. So I hate to leave you on a kind of a red alert note, but I'm just going to have to because I wanted to make this episode as short as possible because I got no guests this time. I got guests lined up, but I didn't have time to get them on. So if you're not a member of the CCFR, please consider becoming a member. We've got some big plans, especially leading up to the election, and we're going to need all the help we can get, both logistically and financially. Also, we're going to be releasing a contest pretty soon. It's going to be Ultimate Choice 3. So there'll be 3 packages, and I will give you a quick kind of sneak peek. I'm going to announce it's Select Shooting Supplies is our vendor this time. So Dean Carr and the gang down there at Select Shooting Supplies is going to be providing the prizes. So we're really, really excited to be partnering with them, and the prize packs are awesome. So look for that contest to be released in the next couple of weeks, and we could really use your support on that. So, and there's actually a really interesting spin on how you can enter that one. And I don't want to spoil the surprise, but I will have another podcast to explain all of that stuff to you, plus some guests next time, I promise. So, as I said, become a member if you can. You can always donate. You can always find us on Patreon, and you can always donate directly from the website or enter the contest as it comes around. Thanks very much for all your support. Hopefully see you at the AGM or the GAT show, and stay safe and keep up the fight.
This is another episode of the CCFR Radio Podcast. Remember, if you don't stand up for your own ability to own and use firearms, who will? Join the CCFR or donate right now at www.firearmrights.ca.